Ziggy. Let's see. Oh. Good girl. Look at that. How epic is that? A crocodile that I've raised from a hatchling that I'm able to feed while she's in my arms. I would hate to be a small snake in a Southeast Asian forest with king cobras lurking around looking for food. You can hear her right now. She's growling. She's letting me know, you better stay back. Let me enjoy my food. Look how beautiful the pattern is of this Burmese python. It really is a shame that these animals have to be put down, but there are literally too many to house out in the Everglades. Like, you can't rehome the Burmese pythons we have out here. Oh, we got a little gape. Look at that, look at that. That's why they're called black mambas, that beautiful black interior of the mouth. You're such a good little baby. You're such a good little crocodile. I love you so much. You're my favorite little crocodile in the whole world. You're so nice, so sweet, sweetest of all the crocodile. Oh, what is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to my wild life. I'm hanging out here with Ziggy in my office right now. I'm giving her nice, gentle pets all along the body. And you know what? It's time of the week where she gets a little snack. Today, we're going to give her some rat pups. Now, the thing with Ziggy, if you guys are new to the channel, is I've raised her from a hatchling since she was like 2 weeks old, a little neonate. And ever since she was a little baby, I've gotten her used to my touching her all over her body so she's used to being handled by me. So in the future, when I have to make a big move from one enclosure to the next, or one facility to the next, it'll be much smoother and less stress on her as the animal. Because when I get crocodiles in the future, they're going to be raised by other people. They're not going to be used to being handled. They're going to be snappy wild crocs. But it's nice to have some of my own crocodiles that I hand raise, and they're nice and laid back. And I'm going to show you guys how laid back she really is. Look at this. To prove how not stressed she is when I handle her, one, check out how laid back she is right now. Another way to find out an animal's not stressed is to see if it will eat, or to see if it will mate. Now in this situation, we're going to see if she's going to want to eat. I've got some rat pups right here. Let me see, I'm going to grab a nice sized one so she doesn't mistake it for my finger, and I can hold it just the right distance above her head. Let's see, ooh, this looks delicious. One of her favorite little treats, a little rat pup, frozen thawed rat pup. Ziggy! Oh. Good girl, good girl. How cool is that? A crocodile, not just eating in my arms. What are you doing? You're all over the place, relax. All right, let's see if she'll eat another rat pup. Let me get a good sized one right here. Ziggy, you ready? You ready? Oh, she's really excited. Let me get that rat pup right where it needs to go. Ziggy. Let's see. Oh. Good girl. Look at that. How epic is that? A crocodile that I've raised from a hatchling that I'm able to feed while she's in my arms. Now, Ziggy, careful while you're biting around. Watch your mouth. I'm going to grab you another rat pup. Watch my legs. Look at her. She's like, give me some more food. Give me some more food. She's all ready to go. Let me see. I got another rat pup right here. Let's see if she'll come up again like she just did. Ziggy. Oh, relax. Good girl. Look at that. That is insane. I'm sure all the crocodilian lovers out there are watching this video going, what the heck has this guy done? Habituating a crocodile, an animal that's been feared by man for such a long time. Now, we can have relationships with them, not as pets, but as educational ambassadors for their species, showing how smart these animals are, as well as showing that they're not evil killing machines. They are just another part of the ecosystem that's vital for survival. Ziggy, one more, you ready? You ready? Oh, did you see that? It was snap. Oh, she's like, I've had enough. Let's put her on the ground for just a second. Relax, Ziggy. Relax. Watch my draws. Don't jump in between my legs. Whoa! Now I'm between my legs, Ziggy. So you ready? Hold. Good girl. Let me grab that big old tail and move you around. Ziggy the American crocodile. How cool is that? A habituated American crocodile. And hopefully, in like 5-10 years, you guys are going to be able to see me and my crocodile in our amazing relationship. All right, so we got to go feed some other animals. Let's go feed some of the snakes in the snake house. Come on, Ziggy. What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to my wildlife. I'm over here in the snake house now, and we're going to be taking care of the king cobras. They are quite hungry. I've got Justina looking over here. She's wondering what I'm going to throw in this big, delicious python, because you know on the menu today, we've got big, beautiful, pre-killed Burmese pythons caught out of the Florida Everglades, donated by a good friend of mine, Kevin the Python Hunter. Shout out to Kevin for always donating these big, beautiful pythons. Oh, that was a little bit of fecal matter, a little bit of spicy meatball coming out of that cloaca. Now, of course, I love reptiles, especially Burmese pythons. They're one of the coolest pythons on the planet. And here in South Florida, sadly, they're not supposed to be here. So we have to remove them from the Florida Everglades. They have to be put down. And a lot of the time, these bodies don't get used for anything. They get thrown out. They decompose out in a pile somewhere, and nothing happens to them. But at least here in captivity, in my snake house, I get to utilize the meat of the snake, and it doesn't go to waste. So these big king cobras get to have a good meal, because out in the wild, they will eat Burmese pythons along with other snake species and other reptile species out in Southeast Asia. So it's kind of a sad thing for the Burmese pythons, but it's also good for a person like me that needs to feed the king cobras. So we put these animals to use. And, oh, this one still has a head. Usually they cut off the heads of the Burmese pythons, but there you go. So even though these animals are a protected species in a lot of the countries they're found in Southeast Asia, here in Florida, they're a problem, so we gotta get rid of them. So today we'll feed the king cobras. Let me see, get my keys ready. We'll start with Justina, my female king cobra. She's a beast of an Indonesian king cobra, and she's got quite the appetite. That's why we'll start with her first. Now, I'm gonna have to open this up and take out her tortoise shell. Let's see, she's already watching what's happening. It's okay, baby. Tranquila, look how big she is. All right, guys, let me get this Burmese python ready to go. Let's see, is this the bigger one? I gotta make sure I give her the smaller one, because Kevin should get that really big one. This is the smaller one right here. This one's thicker, so she'll enjoy that. Here you go. You want it? Oh, you missed. It's right there. Go ahead, go ahead. That's all you. Ooh, nice, good bite right there. Look at that, she's chomping right into it. Let's see, you're gonna pull it back for me? You're gonna hold on? In the wild, when these snakes grab other snakes to eat them, not just will they bite down and hold down like a pit bull and inject that venom, but they'll also death roll their prey to disorientate it. So if this king cobra went up to a small Burmese python or a rat snake and grabbed it, it would inject the fangs, crunch down using their muscles all around the skull, because they have a lot of muscles in that skull to hold down onto their prey. And they'll contort it. They'll basically death roll it like a crocodile, making the animal disorientated, not knowing what's going on. The venom takes effect, and then before you know it, you're a king cobra's meal. I would hate to be a small snake in a Southeast Asian forest with king cobras lurking around looking for food. You can hear her right now, she's growling. She's letting me know, you better stay back. Let me enjoy my food, don't mess with me. King cobras are the only snakes on the planet that have a modified trachea, allowing them to growl, almost like a dog. So when they're upset, they'll let you know. We're gonna close this up. She's gonna make a meal of that big Burmese python, and we're gonna watch her enjoy. What about you, Kevin, you ready? Ready for a big meal? Look at this big boy, he's ready for a good meal. He's the king. He was just sleeping, he's got some mulch on his head. All right, so let's let Justina start chomping down, and then we'll give Kevin a python in a moment. Alright, so Justina's just making her way around that neck of the python right now, and Kevin is coming up to the front because he knows, he's smart. He knows that he's going to get fed. He's seen the pythons, he can smell it in the air, he can taste it in the air with his Jacobson's organ, that forked tongue. So we're going to give him his python. We're going to see how much he'll come out for the food, because last time I did this, he actually came quite a distance out for this meal. So we're going to see if this 6-foot python is enticing enough for him to crawl out. Let's see. Kevin, look at this. Look at this, Kevin. Look at that. Mmm, tasty, right? Big Burmese python, looking all delicious. What am I going to do with this? Oh, hey, Kevin, I'm a big fan of the channel. I just want to say I love all the work you do, and I'd love to get a picture with you. So let me just turn around and face the camera, and we'll get, oh, sorry, oh, I slipped a little bit, sorry, Kevin, I know you're a busy man, let me just turn around right here, let's get a quick photo. Oh, sorry, let me adjust my head. All right, Kevin, let's get a photo together. Say cheese on 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, Cheese! Oh, you're gonna kiss me for the oh! Oh! Kevin! Oh! Kevin! I have fun with this. All right, we're gonna put the Burmese Python in the cage so Kevin can start chomping down. There we go. He's such a beast of a king cobra. Look how big he is. Here, you come right over here, and I'll keep you safe with this snake stick. We'll get some cool shots of these kings chowing down. Ooh, so check this out. I can get a little closer to Kevin than I can Justina. He's just chomping down on that head, making a quick little meal of his late fan of the channel. And he's gonna enjoy this. This is gonna be a good meal for the next 2 weeks or so. And I'll have a lot to clean up after them because they digest fast. The Elapidae family, Mambas, Kraits, Cobras, King Cobras, they all have a very fast metabolism. They're very active snakes. So a meal like this will be digested in a matter of a week. With the Mambas, they'll eat a meal and they'll poop it out like a day later. So these snakes do have a very, very fast metabolism, which is why you gotta make sure you're always feeding them on the right schedule so they don't get too skinny. Again, let me make a quick little announcement. Guys, if you would like to help support king cobras in the wild, I know you guys like seeing them on video here in captivity, but if you'd like to help support king cobras in their natural habitat of India, Borneo, and Thailand, you can help support the King Cobra Conservancy. They go out, they support wild king cobras, they remove them from neighborhoods, they educate the local communities about why they're so important and why they shouldn't be killed, and they do a lot of great work for these animals. They go day in and day out tracking these animals for months and sometimes even years. Out in the bush, tracking king cobras that have trackers in them, living out next to their burrows, studying their behavior, looking at every little aspect of their life, seeing how we can help them and benefit these animals and benefit our lives in the habitats that we live in. Look how beautiful the pattern is of this Burmese python. It really is a shame that these animals have to be put down, but there are literally too many to house out in the Everglades. Like, you can't rehome the Burmese pythons we have out here. You can go out and on a warm night, you can find anywhere from 3 to even 8, 13 pythons. Like, I have friends that have found 13 pythons in one night. More invasive species they're finding than native. So if you think about it, there's really no rehoming these animals. It's sad, but at least we get to use the carcasses for good use, use them for the king cobras, and that's the least we could do. You know, if you think about it, it's pretty crazy because in Southeast Asia, where these animals are native, they're endangered and they're protected in certain areas because these animals are constantly being hunted for that beautiful skin, for purses, belts, things along those lines, just clothes, all kinds of stuff. But here in Florida, they just don't belong, and we can't rehome them. And also, we can't send these guys back to their native ranges to help support those wild populations where they do belong, because out here in the Everglades, they've already taken on local pathogens, parasites, things of that nature. So you'd never be able to quarantine these animals and send them back to their native ranges. Also, they've just been here for so many different generations, so many generations that it's not something you would want to introduce to another ecosystem. It would just cause another problem. So that's why the only thing we can really do with these pythons is put them down. And if we can make any use of them, feed them to other animals like king cobras here in captivity. All right, I'm just gonna close that so you can get some shots of Justina, because she's like just finishing up with the neck region. She's been working on it for a while, but that's a good meal. So she can take her time. And I've got some rats over here, defrosted, ready to go. So I'm thinking, why don't we feed some other snakes while these guys are still working on the pythons? I think Childish Gambino could use a nice sized rat. Childish Gambino is a beautiful hybrid snake. So basically, he's a hybrid with a gaboon viper and a rhino viper. The gaboon viper has the world's longest fangs of any venomous reptile. Throw a shot at him. Look at those fangs. Isn't that crazy? That part of the snake is mixed with the rhino viper. Throw a shot at a really pretty rhino viper. Look at that. That is insane. Those two snakes in the same family or genus, Bitis, can actually make hybrids with each other. So out in the wild, their environment overlaps. They find each other, they breed, and sometimes importers would ship in rhino vipers over the past 30 years, and you'd see a very strange, peculiar-looking gaboon viper, rhino viper, and go, that looks interesting. Why does that rhino viper have so much white around its head? They didn't realize that they were bringing in hybrids and labeling them as rhino vipers. So that's pretty interesting. This guy, I don't know if he was originally imported from Africa. So I got him from a friend of mine in Boca who has a reptile shop, and he's also a venomous keeper. But when I got the snake, he was already like 8, 9 years old. So I'm honestly not sure if he was a captive bred animal or if he was actually imported straight up from the wild. But anyways, let's give him some food. I wanted to give you guys some background on this beautiful snake. Now remember, he is a mix of a rhino viper and a gaboon viper, so that's how he got the name Childish Gambino. I thought that would have been a great name. Want some rat? Delicio? Look, he's already looking at it. See those big beautiful horns? Signature of the rhino viper. Oh! And also the gaboon viper species Rhinoceros. They both have those incredible looking horns on the tip of their snout. Such a beautiful animal. Those horns are magnificent. And there's also like a couple extra set of horns. You got the two main ones, you got some smaller ones in the front, some smaller ones in the back of those horns. They're just such impressive, beautiful looking snakes. Would not want to take a bite off of this snake because the gaboon viper does have a component in its venom called a cardiotoxin that literally attacks your heart. You would not want to take a bite off one of these guys. Alright guys, we're going to lock this up for right now because he's just trying to figure out that that rat isn't alive. So we'll let him be for a moment, and we're going to move on to the next. Where's my keys? Okay. We're going to move on to the next animal, and that's going to be Allison the black mamba. I'm going to see if she's going to eat for you guys on camera. She's right here. She's got her head poking out, and I'm sure she'd love a big juicy rat. All right, guys. So let's see if Allison the black mamba likes some food. Let's see. Offer some food. Let's see if she'll come out. You want a rat, baby? Come on. It seems like she's going to be a little shy. So I'm going to leave this rat right about there, and hopefully she'll come out and eat it. If she does, we'll film it. Otherwise, we've got king cobras chowing down on Burmese pythons right now. So let's go film that. Alright guys, it looks like when we're looking away, Allison came out to grab her food. She's just let go. Oh, it looks like she's gonna come back out and grab that rat. Something that I did notice with the Mambas is that they are very light sensitive. I came in here at night to turn off some lights, and most of the lights were already off, but I was just turning off one or two. Oh, we got a little gape. Look at that, look at that. That's why they're called black Mambas, that beautiful black interior of the mouth. Anyways, so I found out that Mambas do not like bright lights. I was shining my headlamp around while I was turning off lights, and I noticed that the young black Mamba started gaping at me, and usually he's not that defensive. And then I looked over at Allison, and Allison did the same thing. None of my other snakes will do that, except for the Mambas. But Mambas are very light sensitive. They do not like flashlights. And we do have a light on top of the camera, so right as I came over and saw that, we started to dim it down a bit. Alright guys, we got Senor Pepe, the Mexican West Coast rattlesnake Crocodile basiliscus. If you look right here, he's just hanging out. I don't just have any rat from him. I got like a New York sewer rat, a huge big rat. So let's see if he's interested. I'm sure he will be. Look at this. Tasty, tasty. He's looking at it. I saw his pupil look over at it, but he's just waking up, so he's like, breakfast, huh? Ready? Come on. Oh, I'm just a rat. Just a rat. Oh! I was about to sing you, and now you won't get to hear my song. He is such a cool rattlesnake. All right, we're gonna close this because his strike range is out to here. So even though he's a laid-back rattlesnake, if there's a rodent in the air, he might make a mistake and strike out to me and hit me in the stomach. So definitely want to make sure he's nice and secure. Let's give that lock a good twist. There we go, and secure. All right, so king cobra's almost done eating. Allison keeps poking her head out, but she's waiting for us to leave. She's being a bit shy. Childish Gambino's got a good meal in his belly. The rest of those big rats will be for my yellow anacondas, and we're just gonna watch these beautiful king cobras finish up their meals, and then I'm gonna go out to the Everglades python hunting. So I'm gonna go out on a boat and check out all these little islands out in the middle of nowhere in the Everglades, because I could cruise up and down the roads looking for pythons like everyone else, but what about these spots that nobody really gets to check out? So we're going to see what we can find on some of these islands out in the Everglades today. So that will be tomorrow's episode. Hopefully that episode comes out and we find a huge, monstrous python. The biggest python that I've ever found was like 10 feet long. I'm really hoping to find something like 15, 16, maybe even 18 feet long. Who knows? The record's over 18 feet long out there, so we'll see what we can find. Alright guys, she's done with her meal. We're gonna be real slow and methodical. Actually, I gotta get the tortoiseshell back in there. So, let's see. I don't want to upset her too much, but I gotta get her hide back in there. Alright, sweet. Let's be nice and gentle. There we go. She's like, alright, now get out. Look at her, she's such a beast of a king cobra. Alright, now let's lock and secure this enclosure. Look at her. Look at her. Imagine being in the Southeast Asian rainforest walking. Just mind your own business. Oh, look at that bird over there. It's so beautiful. Oh, look at that hornbill. Oh my goodness, imagine seeing that sticking out of the grass 3 to 4 feet off the ground. Put it up, going, don't mess with me. Don't get near me. If you get near me, I'm going to let you know why. Incredible. One day, hopefully, I can share that experience with you guys because I still have not seen a wild king cobra. Now, I went to Thailand, I went to Asia once, didn't find any wild king cobras. We got to rescue a bunch of king cobras that were illegally being kept at a snake farm, and we released them back to the wild, but I would love to find one of these beautiful animals in their natural habitat. And one day I'm going to share that experience with you. Alright, let's see, what's Kevin doing? Kevin's done, look at him, he's a beast. He's all done. He ate all his food, he's good to go. We're gonna, look, he looks like me after I just ate a bunch of Indian food. Oh, you see that? He's got some stuck shed that's popping off right around his chin. So a couple days after this, or maybe like 5 days after this, after I know he's digested a good amount of that food, he's not too uncomfortable, I'm gonna soak him a little bit. I'm gonna assist him and peel off some of that skin by his chin. He's such a beast of a king cobra. Very good, very nice. I'm gonna turn off this light so Justina can have some privacy. Look at her. Look at her, such a beast. Alright, so they're gonna have time to digest that food. They're gonna be nice, big, and beautiful for the future facility. We're moving at the end of this month. And then hopefully a couple months from now, these guys will be in their own walk-in king cobra enclosures. Something awesome that I'm gonna be able to share with you guys over the next year. Alright, so now, I think we're done. I gotta head up, going up north, gonna go meet up with Chris Gillette. We're gonna jump on a boat, head out to the Everglades and look for pythons on the islands out in the glades, see if we can find a monster. All right, beautiful people, that's gonna be it for this episode. Don't forget to check us out on the new Chandler's Wildlife website where we're selling all of our merchandise. We're dropping new designs as well as we're having more categories. So if you're a big fan of Kevin the King Cobra and you're about that tall, we have shirts for your size. If you're a big fan of the channel, then we have sizes for you as well. We have stickers, all kinds of new designs coming out. As well as don't forget to check us out on Patreon. Patreon is our page that helps support the channel, letting us progress and build our team out, as well as building out this future facility. So if you guys support us on Patreon, you get exclusive videos, you get exclusive updates on what we're doing, animals that we're getting that nobody knows about. Did you guys know that we're getting a 10-foot long... Oh wait, you don't know, because you're not on Patreon! Are you not paying attention? Get on Patreon so you can know what kind of crazy animals we're getting into. Oh my goodness, why do I have to repeat myself? What are you looking at? Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyways, guys, check us out on Patreon, check us out on the Chandler's Wildlife website. Don't forget to check out the King Cobra Conservancy to help support these beautiful animals in the wild. I will see you on the next one. Stay beautiful, stay safe, and most of all, give me a beat. Most of all, no, okay. Most of all, you gotta know that I have a show that I got to show my flow and how I go. And you know that I can break down to the flow like this, like that, like this, like that.